Gen Z lives in a world that shoves the most beautiful, talented, and powerful people down our throats every day on the internet. We are so strongly impacted by them all the time that we feel inferior and we want to be like them. The girls all want to look like heavily edited pictures of Kim K, who is actually half plastic at this point. They want talent and power and fame. I actually don't know the answer to that. Honestly, I don't actually know, so I'm going to ask the missus. She says that women want to be like Zendaya because she is quote unquote hot. It is not my place as a boyfriend to say whether that is true or not. So women, sound off in the comments if this is true. I am editing this right now. I told the missus that I was going to put her in the video. She said that the people like Zendaya also because she is a baddie.
Let me know what that means in the comments section. Thank you very much.
I can speak for the guys though. We all want to look like Henry Cavill or David Lade, or some of us even want to look like Sam Sulek. We all want talent, fame, like Cole, like Curry, like Brad Pitt, though personally I want to look like Shane Gillis. Well, back in 2013, Wire estimated that famous people make up around 0.000086% of the population. So I don't know how true that is now because I was in 2013. The fact is though, if we are 99.999 whatever percent of the people, we will never be the famous people that we want to be. We will never be these absurdly massive successes. And the thing is, Hollywood and hustle culture and the internet in general has inflated and completely destroyed the concept of being average or being normal. It seems like if you're average or normal, then you're a loser. So, is the internet right? Does being normal make you a failure? Well, let me tell you a story. So, a baby boy is born to a young single mother in a rough neighborhood. The boy's father abandons them, leaving the boy to grow up without a dad. They move apartments often, always in rough neighborhoods, barely scraping by. She struggles to find a sustaining job to support her and her son, and the odds are just not in their favor. Eventually, she comes to realize that she is not equipped to raise him in her economic situation. So she sends him off to live with another family so he can be supported. Okay, that's story number one. Let me tell you story number two. So a baby girl is born to a father and mother in a big house in the Bronx, New York City. Her parents are both present. They're both economically successful. Their relationship is not perfect, but they care for their children. She grows up with everything she could want. So think to yourself, which one of these people is more likely to be successful? And don't think to yourself, oh my goodness, he's going to do a magic switcheroo where one is successful and the other isn't, and it wasn't what you were thinking, and it's, whatever. Forget that idea for a second and think about it honestly. One has nothing. One has everything. Who do you think was actually successful? The answer? Both of them. The first story is about our glorious King LeBron, who lived a real rags to riches kind of life. Was super talented, extremely talented, and he developed those skills. Obviously, now he's regarded to be one of the best basketball pros of all time, if not the very best. He started from nothing, but his resources and the way he managed them became a success, an extreme success. The second story is sadder. It's the childhood of Lindsay Lohan, child actor, famous movie star, extremely successful and talented woman. She had everything going for her at this time. She was young, she was good looking, she was talented, connected, she was wealthy. I know you probably already know what happened next. She became entangled for years in drugs, alcohol, parties, nightlife, and in the end she became known more for her addictions and run-ins with the law than actually what she was successful at. She was arrested multiple times, DUI, possession and use of cocaine. She even released a statement saying, "It is clear to me that my life has become completely unmanageable because I am addicted to alcohol and drugs." My point is that both of these people had vast resources. Now you might be thinking to yourself, LeBron came from nothing. He had no resources. That's where you're wrong. He had talent. He had developed skills. He had opportunities. Now, both of them had these things. Lohan had way more, but Lohan did not use them well. You can argue that she wasn't raised well, or that because she was a child actor, there are psychological reasons for why she acted the way that she did. And the thing is, these things are true, and they do play a part, but at the end of the day, we all make choices. The fact is, their successes or their failures were made because of the way that they used and managed their resources. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to insinuate that people are how they are in life simply because of their choices. And, if they just worked hard and, grit their teeth and rub some dirt on it kind of thing. Not saying that. Complete opposite. Being in poverty or racially or sexually marginalized will generally limit your opportunities. But you still have some opportunities, even if they're smaller. And doing your best in those opportunities is what I believe what designates success. So let me explain what I mean. If I was a kid in high school, I was playing basketball. I was pretty good at it. Maybe I was the top of my team. I had resources. I had developed skills. I had a school to plan, and I put in my maximum effort. But if you were to compare me, a high school basketball player, to LeBron James, even my greatest successes would look like complete failures when you compare it to his success. So the question is, does that make me a failure? Obviously not. But why? What I'm about to tell you is the way that I judge my own successes and failures. And I believe it's the best way you can see yourself accurately. It's also a great way to self-improve. Success is simply doing the best you can with what you have. You have talent, invest it properly, and you will have success. If you have opportunities, pick the ones that you want to do and do your absolute best at them. If you are using your resources and putting in your best effort, then you are a success. Success is not like a static thing. Like, if I just win this championship, then I'll be a success. Or if I just get this girl, then I'll be a success. Or if I can looks max my way to looking like Henry Cavill, then I'll be a success. Success is just about doing the best you can with what you have. If that lands you winning the championship, or getting the girl, or being the most handsome man on the entire planet and who has ever lived and whoever will live, then good for you. That's great. But if it doesn't, and you still tried your best, that doesn't mean you're a failure. Think of the basketball kid analogy I was using. He wants to be LeBron, but he never will. He's just not talented enough. He's not a LeBron, but that's okay. It doesn't make him a failure. Practical application. How do we apply this to our own lives? Ask yourself, what are your resources? Are you doing the best you can with them? Are you putting in the best effort? If the answer is yes, congratulations, you already won. You are a success. If you beat yourself up for not being a LeBron, you got to remember, you don't have the resources that he has. LeBron has enormous amounts of talent. He sharpened his skills and his instincts until they're razor sharp. And even more than now, his entire life surrounds his career as a basketball player. Do you spend 5 hours a day training for your sport? Does all of your income come from the thing that you want to succeed at? You have to keep these things in mind to see yourself accurately. If you want to see yourself for who you are, you've got to drop this attitude. If you're not a LeBron, that's okay. But if you can do better with what you have, if you can put more effort in, you can spend more hours, more time, look for bigger opportunities, make money. If there's room to improve, do it. Don't sit around. If you're sitting around complaining, saying, oh, I'm such a failure, but you're not maxing out your potential, you are not a success. You're not succeeding. Now, that's not to say if you're not at the absolute max all the time, 100%, then you're a failure. No, I'm not trying to say that. But if you're not even trying, where do you expect to be? You really got to ask yourself, am I doing the best I can with what I have? I want to be strong and fit? Well, you have resources. Probably have some time, probably have a gym subscription or money to pay for one. You could spend the time that you could use at the gym on your phone or eating junk food. But if you spend it doing the best you can at the gym, you are a success. You don't have to be LeBron or Curry or Brad Pitt or DiCaprio or Samuel Jackson or Cole or Drake or Kendrick Lamar or whoever. You don't have to be them. Pick a goal, do the best you can with what you have. You are a success. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, just drop a like, hit subscribe. This is something I do regularly. And yeah, just have a great day. thank you so much for watching.